What's up, guys? It is I, once again, Mr. Gamer 990 at your service. And it's been a while, guys, and I'm very sorry, but I've been kind of busy, with my studies in French and trying to catch up on my exams and trying just to get by, play some games which I have yet to complete, and a bunch of other stuff that kept my had my attention. But right now I want to review a game which is part of my Souls review series, and by that I mean after reviewing Dark Souls 2 in long detail, which is a very long video actually, I'm going to do the second part of that review later. But right now I want to review the very first game in the Souls franchise, that game being Demon Souls, because in the next few days or so, From Software are going to release Bloodborne across abroad, which is a very big game I want to buy so bad. This game is going to be big, it's going to be epic, it's just going to be something that is worth to remember, and this game is just going to be so cool. But right now I want to review Demon Souls. This game right here, Demon Souls, it's quite possibly one of the best games I played ever. Not just the best in the Souls franchise, in my personal opinion, but it's also one of the most influential games that has ever been released, because this game changed the way gamers play games. It changed the way that gamers how they take games and how games challenge them, because games nowadays have become became more friendly with you. It actually starts to hold your hand and starts to treat you like you are dumb. But this game actually is a game. By that I mean this game actually challenges you. It's a game that actually goes back to what games used to be. A game which actually tries to be more challenging. It tries to be more about gameplay and has a strong story in it, but the story in the Souls franchise are secondary to what the game is really about, which is the gameplay and how you play the game. And this game right here is probably the best game in the Souls franchise, not just because it started the Souls franchise, but also because it started a whole trend of games that are being released that are more challenging, a lot more difficult, and they don't explain much to you. And this game sure as hell doesn't explain much to it at all. It does not. This is the kind of game where you have to actually be skilled enough and have a sort of patience, a strong amount of patience to really play this game. Now this game, it does have a plot. It does have a plot and a story. But once again, the story is secondary to what the game is really about, which is the gameplay. And the gameplay is awesome. It really is. Now, the basic plot of this game is basically you are playing a character who has to go and stop this enemy known as King Allant, who has started a plague through the Old One, a god among these living beings in Boletaria, who has plagued the world of Boletaria and starts to infect people with this virus that consumes their soul, and everyone starts to rely on something known as the Souls Art. And there's a whole war between the clerics and the mages and the whole belief that the Souls Art is the way to the new way of living, and how the clerics are the kind of race of people who are they believe in their god, how they try to use their god as a way to control the Souls Art or whatever. But this game, it has a very deep story. I can't yet dissect the story quite that well. The story to Dark Souls and Demon Souls and Dark Souls 2, all of them have a non-linear story which does which does little to explain to you what the plot's about, because you have to actually uncover what the plot is about and what the story is essentially telling you, and you have to try to discover things by reading item descriptions, trying to talk to people, and trying to explore the world around you. And this game right here, Demon's Souls, is probably the hardest game in the Souls franchise, because what this game does, unlike Dark Souls or Dark Souls 2, is it tries to import this whole thing known as world tendency. World tendency is actually something which allows you to unlock certain areas which you can't unlock by going the game without having a pure black world tendency or pure white world tendency. A pure white world tendency will unlock certain passageways and make the game a lot easier, but the pure black world tendency will make the game a lot harder. It will allow you to get more items from enemies, but at the same time, getting more items means the enemies get a lot harder. They get a lot harder, and the game becomes a very frustrating experience for you if you have a black world tendency. And the way this world tendency works, if you kill an NPC character, whether he or she be good or bad, your world tendency will decrease, very much so. It will decrease to pure black, and if you try to help out other NPCs, if you help them out, your world tendency will become greater, it will increase in height, and it will also become a lot more pure, and that gives you a chance to unlock certain passageways in this game. And you can also meet new NPC characters who require a white world tendency, pure white world tendency, to meet and interact with them. And this game is quite difficult, because it's not difficult in that it's hard as hell. It's difficult in that it's challenging, but once you overcome that challenge, once you overcome it, you will feel like you accomplished something. The thing about Demon's Souls is that Demon's Souls is a game which actually tries to challenge you and tries to beat you non-stop, but once you overcome that challenge and you start to beat the game back, you will feel accomplished. The sense of accomplishment is so great, it's so amazing, it's so overwhelming. This game has a lot of things to offer, especially in terms of how accomplished you feel and how much you achieve in beating the game, and how you feel like you overcome a great burden in your life. And this game is so amazing in how you do feel like a badass, and you do feel like you accomplished something great, especially in a game like this. And this game, what this game does so well is that it allows you to interact with people and try to assist them or kill them if you want, depending on how you play the game, and whether you want a white world tendency or black world tendency, it's up to you. And this game gives you a lot of options, and you can play this game in a very non-linear way. Not so much like Dark Souls 1, Dark Souls 2, but still non-linear. And this game does have a sort of linear plot line where you have to go from place to place, like Boletaria, like Stonefang, like the Tower of Latria, the Shrine of Storms, and like the Valley of Defilement. Every one of these areas you can explore, but the thing about this game is that you have to actually try to finish the game in a sort of linear fashion. This game is non-linear, but there is a linear subplot in how you play the game, and that you have to kill each archdemon in this game. Each level has an archdemon, and the archdemon is the main boss of the game. You have to kill many bosses to get to the archdemon, and to get to the archdemon, you have to try to level up, upgrade your weapons, upgrade your stats. And this game, Demon's Souls, is the kind of game I love so much because it gives you an option to actually level up your character however you want and try to customize your character however you see fit. And the customization in terms of physical features isn't so great, it's not great, but it doesn't matter because maybe throughout you're wearing a helmet or maybe not. And guys, trust me, this game right here, Demon's Souls, is RPG at its best, and an RPG game which I love beyond any RPG games out there. And this is the kind of game I love to play and the kind of game I enjoy playing. And you know what? I'm giving this game a 10 out of 10 star rating because it's a great game, it's so awesome, it's so cool, it's so epic. And From Software are by far my favorite game company out there. I love From Software, and I love the Souls games, and I cannot wait for Bloodborne. I cannot wait to play Bloodborne. And thank you for watching, guys, gals. Peace out, take care, and till next time, adios amigos, and au revoir.